Okay, let's get going. This is Elliott Wave Sage. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Just use this for your education and entertainment purposes only. I'll start out with a quick market overview and then go into your questions like I usually do. So today, I think what we saw that was really important was silver taking out this high in a fifth wave with bearish divergence. This really sets up a bullish impulse now that we'll need to finish. This was our original target at $35. The reason we started to question that was because of this double correction here and the intensity of this move. Also played into the fact that this could have become a really big flat correction, which had to have been like some type of stock market crash, and we almost saw that happen with that VIX spike. But they saved the day. The cycle continues. What this also tells me is, as you can see with silver, you know, when we peaked out July 12th and we had the decline in silver, the markets corrected. We had the increase in price in silver, the markets V'd off the low. So obviously it looks like we probably have a market correction coming. And it looks like, though, the market will be supported if this correlation continues. And then when we get to this point here in silver at 35, then really all bets are off, because then we'll be correcting this whole cycle at all the way from 17, which means we'll have a big three-wave move down that could go as low as 23, but it certainly can go even lower. That will definitely be a massive market meltdown scenario. When that finishes is when we should get the euphoric, you know, moon boy move in silver everyone dreams about. But that comes later in the decade, maybe in 2026, late 25. But for now, the way I look at the market is we should see more upside, you know, from a structure. Now, individual things could trade out of sync, but I think for the most part, this is telling me that, yeah, there's a pullback coming, but more than likely the pullback will be bought. So let's go through the market. So the Dow Jones here should be pulling up in this fifth wave of a fifth wave right now. Little more upside. We have divergence, divergence, and divergence. Triple divergence of a bearish nature. A 5, a 5, a 5. So it can't be any more dangerous to buy the Dow Jones index than it will be when it makes another high, possibly tomorrow. You know, so get ready for that. And when we top in 3, this 4 could be pretty severe. This 4 could be pretty severe, but like I said, I think it's buyable whenever this ends for another move higher in the market, supporting the $35 silver idea. But there is a big correction coming. The SPY, same thing. We're up in 5 waves. Now we have not broke this high. If we start to pull back tomorrow, then this two wave becomes a buyable dip, because we should continue the sequence higher to break this high in a 3, 4, 5, and possibly hitting my target that I had originally set at 600, 610. So again, now this pullback that's coming can be very deep and very severe, but it could be very buyable. Now, I wouldn't like to buy it is if we actually make another high tomorrow and we break through this all-time high. Then the 5 can be in, and I would definitely not want to be catching a fallen knife if a major cycle's topped, hoping for an extension in 5. I won't hope for that. So it really depends on what happens tomorrow on how to trade the SPY or not. But we'll see. And then the triple Qs is really bearish, guys. And in fact, it's really just made a 3-wave move on 5 down. It actually found sellers right where we would have kind of expected it to. If we could get some follow through to the downside tomorrow into this area here, yeah, we may bounce, but I wouldn't expect it to go higher I would think it's going to take another swing down just like I have it here, and perhaps this will be buyable later for a good dip buy for a multi-month rally to let the Dow Jones, possibly the SPY, go to new highs, silver go to 35, but tech stays well below its all-time high. Kind of the warning sign that the market is already turning in big cap tech is already done, the grand super cycle, but people just don't realize it. Now, if we come back and take this high out here, it opens up a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves, and it kind of negates this bearish idea. The IWM, I went ahead and updated the count based on what we're seeing, the price action. So shifting gears to a WXY for an A, B, C wave here, and moving up in 5 in this C. And 1, 2, 3 for 1, a 2, 1, 2, 3 for 3, a 4, and now we should get a 1, 2, 3 for C, ultimately hitting the target that I originally had set in this pink area. But again, we are expecting a pullback at once this sequence finishes as A is set and we get this B wave. So it does look like we have a big correction coming across the entire stock market, even silver, even Bitcoin should have it. And then that seems to look like it's a supported pullback, except for maybe tech. We'll have to wait and see. And then we get another push higher, and then that should do it. And then the market could be set up for a catastrophe toward the end of the year. Ironically, probably right around election time. Does that telling us that there could be a major issue with the change of power in the country? I think that's what this could be foreshadowing, or it is signifying that we're going to get inflation to reemerge unexpectedly. Milton Friedman would be rolling in his grave based on that speech Paul gave on Friday. I mean, you never spike the football on inflation, because inflation expectations is just as important as the mechanics. And he took all the expectation of talking tough away. He's repeating, I think, the mistake of Arthur Burns, Paul is, but for a different reason. Arthur Burns fell under political pressure to lower rates. I think Powell fell under market pressure. Just face it, guys, everyone loves stocks. He owns stocks. The Federal Reserve trades stocks. We even know that because they sold their stocks for ethical reasons at the top of the last bull market in 21 before the bear market, coincidentally. So there's a lot of pressure from the markets for Powell to lower, not necessarily political. So I think he just is the same theme, and I think he's making the same mistake, which is why we saw the last couple trading sessions, commodities were running hot. The dollar index collapsed. That is a typical 1970s style trade, and tech is weak. This is like, oh my God, are we going to live through the 1970s all over again? And when you look at the long-term rate picture of the market, where rates will come back higher soon, that actually would explain it. I bet his capitulation, not necessarily, but his declaration of victory that inflation has been won, he can lower rates, may be premature, and he may have to eat crow and end up raising rates again, just like Arthur Burns did. Got in that same trap, and I believe the market is starting to position for that. Why is uranium breaking out? Why is oil all of a sudden getting strong? We have to keep an eye on oil. What if our count is negated if we can break $80, right? So we have to understand there could be a stagflation brewing in the market, and he may have shot himself in the foot Friday. I think some of the Fed speakers today tried to talk back a little bit, tried to talk a little tough, but it's too late. The market knows that they will choose inflation over deflation, and I do believe that the market, and silver making its fifth wave, I do believe the market is preparing for an eventual 1970s style melt up in commodities and interest rates again, while the market gets hit hard. Most sectors, not all, will get hit hard, and that's why the indices are going to probably get destroyed in the next 2 to 3 years, and that's why I think is going to really hurt the market. And I think that's what we're seeing develop. That's just my take on the market right now. So just expect a pullback. It could be a nasty one. There's a lot of space to correct. A lot of space here. It could be really nasty. The Dow Jones could be really nasty, guys. But I believe whenever it is, I believe it's some kind of buyable area one more time. Perhaps tech. You could trade if we get down to this 410 area. It's tradable, but I don't know how strong the bounce, because it could easily do 5 here. It could do a 1, 2, 3. You could get a 4 and then undercut that with a 5. So we just don't know how that will play out. But if this pullback could be pretty nasty on the horizon. So don't let my little bit of bullishness fool you. I still think there is a pullback coming that's going to be pretty nasty, and then we'll hopefully get one more push higher, and that should do it. That should do it. Okay. So let's go to your questions, guys. I got a lot of super chats to get through, and I'll get through all of them. Edward at AFRM. Yeah, I was watching that. Affirm was tricky because it's got a situation that had a couple scenarios. I hadn't been watching it recently, but let's take a look at where we are with it. So Affirm missed our buy area by a pretty good amount here. It's still in Y, so we need to look for when the cycle ends. When this cycle ends, we don't have I don't think, based on what I see, the confirmation, the cycle's over. As you can see, we're kind of on the trend line here a little bit. So I still think we're in the downtrend. Let's take a look from the RSI. Well, the daily cycle did reset here. We did erase divergence. So I definitely would put the Y here. We are in a new cycle higher. So I would have to say the 2 is in, because now if you break it, this isn't applicable anymore, and the move would be a calamity for the stock because there's no more space for it to go down. As you could see, is it going to go to $1? Essentially, you can back into the low here. So backing into the low puts the low here, and it looks like it's a beautiful impulse up with bearish divergence. So we should see a pullback, and that pullback is buyable. Maybe you get a $27 entry against the $22.50 low, and then you can continue higher. So that's what I'd be looking for here. At least one more push higher, and then it could decide if it wants to take another swing lower or not. Because if we could push higher, then the target would come up significantly. So we could wait. But I think I'll go with this count for now. All right. Mark V, thanks for the big super chat, man. Yeah, the NASDAQ stocks. Again, NASDAQ itself is not recommended to be long right now, guys. It's in a very difficult and very treacherous position. The NASDAQ could be looking down the edge of the Grand Canyon right now. Like it could have a flash crash type moment. I would be really, really careful in the NASDAQ if your guys are trying to fish around the NASDAQ. All right, so this looks like it's in a 5th wave here, just like we had it, and it looks like it just needs one more wave higher. Look at that, one more. And then a big pullback, right? And this 3 would be set, and we'll get a big pullback, and 4, probably all the way back down to 266 for another push higher. All right, PCOR. Again, the market is due for pullback, guys. It's way overdue, actually. We did see Cava start to break down, especially I thought I saw it after hours. That's a good sign that perhaps the market has peaked. Let's see here. All right, so right away you have 3 down and some kind of connector wave here. Perhaps it's 5 actually, but you see that RSI reset here. So there's your 5 and there's your 1, 2, and then you made a new high and you're down in 3. So I would probably label it this way for now. 1, 2 out, and then another 1, 2 out. Something like that. So it's definitely bullish off of 49.27. I would be looking for more upside in it at the moment. And this looks like a corrective move as well that finished. So then here on the short time frame, again, like the rest of the market, you have to be careful. You're in a fifth wave. So this is due a pullback. I mean, you're going to see this across the entire stock market, guys. Everything on the shorter cycles is due a pullback. I mean, now, again, this looks like maybe one more high and then a pullback maybe down to 57, but that should be a buyable dip and then out. Okay, good luck with that. Then IAS, let's take a look at that. IAS, let's see, it's a new one. If you're looking for like, oh, it's going to the moon in the next week or two, dude, guys, you missed the move. I hate to break it to you, which is, I mean, I'm only stating the obvious, right? The move is already had the market is ready to turn lower. All right, so there you go. So if you look here, we almost hit the buy area. So more than likely, that's a major low right there, right in this area. So it looks like it tried to tag that already in 3 waves on a 5-wave move off this low. So this looks like it's ready to move higher a little bit. Again, shorter cycles, could see a pullback still. And there's your A, B, C. Get that fixed that here, like that. And then the shorter cycle, again, it's making that 5th wave right now. So the shorter cycle, it's probably due a pullback. In fact, it could be a flat about to happen too. So again, if you're hoping for a big move, it's probably already over here and it's going to have to pull back. So all these are pulling back, and they're all buyable at some point in the future. I would not be chasing this stuff here. I would not be chasing this stuff. Now, you may get lucky and it extends and surprises everyone, including me, but I doubt it's going to happen. Sport Radar. Okay, Sport Radar. What are these guys doing here? All right, so as you can see, we never made that 5th wave, so it made a corrective move here. So the correction extended. So we have to just put that 2 here and a flat correction that ended there. And now we can try to continue higher from here. See, there's your bottom there. And then it looks like to me, again, you have some kind of 5th wave developing here. But let's see. This one's a little different than the other ones. This one looks like a 1, 2 here. And then this looks like I don't want to go with the super bullish count, but this one looks a little different than the other ones. It looks like, I mean, the RSI supports this count. This is very bullish. So I'll just leave that. But, but there's always a possibility it's still in this wave too. We just don't know. But it should be buyable above $8 and should continue higher. This just turned into a flat correction and should continue higher. All right, thanks Mitso, Baba, Hang Seng. Okay, yeah, so we saw this China stock get obliterated today. I mean, just destroyed. What is it, Pinduoduo or whatever? And again, we called that on my channel not to FOMO in on that, by the way, Pinduoduo. Look, holy shit, look, Elliott Wave Sage nails it again. We called the flat here not to chase this shit, and bam. So here we are. Now it's actually in an area where it could find buyers, but I think the sequence has still got more room to go down, so I wouldn't buy it here. But the reason I bring this up is BABA could be about to share the similar fate in this C-Wave. So I am looking for more downside in BABA. Eventually, it may have already peaked here in B, and then the Hang Seng as well should be finishing this connector wave with a little more upside, and then it should have a dramatic reversal probably with the rest of the stock market with this sell-off that's about to happen. All right, good luck with that. All right, Meta, let's go to your question here. PPTA. PPTA here. Petro Resources. Okay. Let's see what these guys are up to. Again, it's kind of like been in a bear market since it's existed. However, it looks like some kind of accumulation happening here. We had 5 waves, but then you broke the low there, so that really screwed things up for you for finding a low. So it's probably some kind of connector wave that will fail later. Looks like to me this could be an ABC in the making, something like this coming out. And again, 1, 2, let's see, where did this end up? Yeah, so this looks like it's going to go higher before it goes lower. But I wouldn't get too excited and get too euphoric, because this rally should fail when this pump is over. It should be squeezing out of here is what I'm thinking, and then it should make a new all-time low later. Good luck with that. Next is UWMC. UWM Holdings Corporation. This one here we've done before. We nailed the wave 3. Look, no change. There's no reason. There's really no update other than everything's happened according to plan. It looks like you have a 1, 2, and you're in your 3 of 3 moment here. And 3 could top here. You just don't know, but it's obviously more upside, a lot more upside coming, even with these pullbacks that should happen. The next you got is ML MoneyLion. All right, what the hell do these guys do? MoneyLion is a bank or something. MoneyLion, again, bear market since it's existed. Then we tried to come out here in 5 waves off this low, which is always good. But you only have 3 down here. So this is always a common trap where you could have an ABC and actually hold on, let me get this done right here. It could be an ABC, and you could actually go to new lows. So we have to be really careful here and look at the chart. And as you can see all that divergence at that low. I'd be really careful that it isn't that kind of setup for you, where somehow you have an ABC correction here, and it goes down. So I would be really careful for that. The sell area would have been probably right where it turned down exactly. So more than likely this is the pattern it's playing. So I'd be expecting more downside in an impulse, breaking the low eventually as this plays out more in a 1, 2, and then this looks like either 3 is finished here or it's about to, and probably is finished here, and then it should get a 5th wave, and then it should bounce significantly but fail after that bounce as it gets more downside later, something like this, and then bam, and then it goes down. All right, good luck with that. Chris, man, thanks for the big super chats. Let's see crypto. Let's go to crypto and take a look at these. Crypto, Bitcoin is in a really tricky situation, guys. I told you guys it's gonna be choppy and erratic. There's gonna be trades on both sides, but it's really no good setup. Now, if we do get a dump to the 42,000 area, that is a good buy opportunity. There's really no need to try to chase Bitcoin around, and it's really, unless you already have a position. If you don't have a position already, it's really something that you really shouldn't really fool around in and mess with, because it's just real choppy and erratic. Well, looks like we nailed this. Look at this, guys. We called this crypto pump on my channel. We got it. Now where does it go from here? Well, now we have to just see the cycle reset. We took the peak out, so this could end at any moment. So this is going to be really tough to predict when this ends. I'll do my best here. So there's your connector wave right here. There's your connector here, and it looks like to me it's moving in threes on the connector, and it look maybe one. So maybe you could do one more if you're lucky. But man, that's really it's really dangerous to try to see it hit the area. So I wouldn't recommend chasing it. There is a possibility that it could do one more move higher, here, but it's total speculation at this point. I mean, if I was personally in it, I would be rigging the cash register right now and moving on to something else to trade. But you got to do what's best for you on that. Good luck on that. HNT, let's take a look at HNT. HNT crypto. Okay, I'll just pick an exchange. All right, HNT. HNT looks to be like, again, this is a mess of a correction. It could have been a flat here that looks like so 5 is up here. So you have a 1 here, and now it's trying to figure out what it is. You know, what's this correction supposed to end up? 1, see here that would have been perfect to put 2, but it didn't work out. It broke the low. So we need to check and see, did divergence get erased on that? And we did. Okay, so it just did like a really weird double correction down in in some kind of 3-wave move, and now we're off the low. So I would be just trying to label it bullish off this low here. Looks like that's the low. It looks like you're moving in 3 and 4, 5. So you're probably finished here with a little bit of bullish divergence. So that's probably your first wave here off this low right there, 1, 2. And then this is tough because that could be 3, 4, 5. But as you can see, you do not take out the RSI here. So chances are it's not. And it's another 1, 2 setup for more upside. So I'd be looking for something like this and more upside. Looks like this one may have its own little pump coming. All right, next is PDD. Okay, so I'll go through the PDD chart a little more detail. I would not be bottom fishing that, guys. Not bottom fishing that. Okay, that's got to play out more. That's going to have to play out more. So we have a big flat correction here, and in 3 and 3, and then we had 5 down for 1, 2, and now we just need to draw this impulse out. So we have a 1, a 2, a 3, probably a 4 and a 5, and then we got a big bounce in 4. Like, look how big that bounce is. So this would be a big bounce. Everyone will get excited, only to go to another low. So you need to see a big bounce and a failure, and then you can maybe try to bottom fish, and then maybe we can find a good target to buy it at for speculation. But it should. It's a major correction. It's correcting the whole move since 2022. So it's correcting this whole thing. So it's finally over. This whole cycle finally ended. And now it's got to finish out. Now this is this trend line, right? You see here. So that's 85. So maybe we come around. Maybe this is where we hug and break a little, somewhere around this area. Would be kind of a good technical area to tag this trend line again. We tagged it here. We tagged obviously the major low. And guys, we called this major low on my channel, by the way. Actually, we bought it here in the 30s, and then I think we all sold it in the 80s, but then it went beyond our belief even higher. But anyway, this may allow us to get back in where we left it earlier. People that had followed me early on This was one of our first stocks, I think, that ended the correction, right? See, March 22. Yeah, this was one of the first ones because most of the market bottomed October 22. So this was actually a good indication the market was finding support. So it's kind of interesting that this bottom, one of the bigger ones, bottomed here. All right, anyway, thanks, Chris. Anonymous, appreciate it, man. Thanks again. Big super chats, I love it. Yeah, the X wave is tough. It's tricky to call these corrections, but I just sometimes we get them, sometimes we don't. I like it when it works out. It really makes me happy when trades work out and it works out. So again, we got to look at this Bitcoin. So Bitcoin here, guys, the 4-hour cycle broke, and it broke with no divergence at the top, really. This little is not enough for me to call it a wave 5. So this is important. So this corrective structure could have ended tonight. If it did, then we could be introducing we could be in this new downtrend, getting us to this low. If this plays out, now bulls don't believe this. They want to see it higher in X, or they actually think this is a major low here. So we don't know. So now if we could push higher, then we'll get 5. We'll get 5 off this low. That will change things in crypto, right? We'll get 5. Okay, we get 5 and we get a big pullback. Then we're like, maybe we got to get more aggressive and we have to start thinking. But until that happens, then we just stay with the bearish case. But would I go, oh, I'm going to go short it? No. I just sidelines watching it. Now, Bitcoin Cash turned down, and we're looking for a bounce at 245, and then a pretty healthy bounce, significant bounce. But that bounce should also fail too if the swings are right. But we'll have to wait and see how significant this intensity of that move is to see if this is going to happen or not. But then the BCHG, which is tied to it, now is in this X wave. So now this is an important level. As long as you're below 757, it should continue lower. And the next stop is right here at 379. I mean, that's the next stop. Now, if we look at the correction overall here, as you can see, you have 1, 2, 3 big waves. You have 1, 2. You need one more. So one more wave down should do it for this big correction, but it doesn't sync up with the coin perfectly. That's why I got to be careful with the coin, and we have to see how this YLA plays out and where we actually end up with it. But for now, it does look like the X has been set. Now, if we take this high out, it changes things. But then, now all of a sudden, we have to think of a different structure, and then we may have 5 waves. And if we have 5 waves, then it could be negated, and we'll have to be careful being too bearish again on crypto, which is what we saw in Bitcoin just a minute ago. MIGI, let's take a look at that here. Like I said, when Bitcoin popped out of that little cup, I don't know what you call it, inverse head and shoulders or cup and handle continuation to 64,000, we did get the pop, but we didn't get to 177. But now, yeah, if Bitcoin's turning lower now, if this is playing out, now again, I don't know if it could make a 5th wave. If this is turning lower, it won't make a 5th wave, then none of these stocks are going to work. None of this shit's going to work. It's all going to break down. So I got to tell you guys that. So if Bitcoin wants to make a 5th wave, possibly this could pop to 177 still. Okay. Now, if it doesn't, then it's going to finish. It's going to start this cycle that we have here, and we don't have an RSI break yet, so we don't have so it could easily move higher. We don't know. So we don't know. We're not there yet. So it's kind of like 50-50, but if Bitcoin broke down, chances are it's already peaked here. All right. LTCN. LTCN is in the sell area today. For those brave enough to short it, this is where you would go short this for the push lower. It's a perfect short. I mean, massive hidden bearish divergence there, guys. I mean, damn. Let's look at Litecoin itself. Litecoin itself is, let's take a look here. So we did not break this high. We did not get a fifth wave. So yeah, if we can't get a fifth wave, then it's in danger of breaking this low. And if we break 49, Litecoin more than likely will be retesting 40. And if it breaks 40, then I believe all hell will break loose in the Litecoin crypto as whales panic, sell, and we finally get a real capitulation event in Litecoin that we've probably been waiting for since 2017 to happen, as the whales have pretty much used Litecoin as a money tree. They're laughing their asses off driving Lambos as you buy their Lambos for them. That's why this has never been able to break out, because these guys on the internet, they're just laughing their asses off because they loaded up down here when it was $3 and you didn't. And you've just been funding their lavish lifestyle. But those whales need to panic and leave the market, just like they did with Ripple. They need to leave the market and panic. And then once they do that, then Litecoin will see the triple digits again, and even $1,000 a Litecoin will be there. It's just there's too much selling pressure because it's a money tree for the whales. But the whales will panic, I guarantee you, as this starts breaking down, and this massive pattern here is negated, and it's a flat. It could be an A, B, C flat, and if it turns into a flat, by breaking that pivot here, right here at 40 bucks, yeah, you're going to see some real nice panic selling in Litecoin. It'll be biblical. It's going to be biblical, guys. I'm going to love watching it because it will create a buying opportunity for all of us later. But the whales, they're just throwing out Lambo. Like, you're just funding a lifestyle. This coin has not moved because it's just constantly being sold into, like, it's a money tree for these guys. They have no regard for the price. They just want to buy shit is all they're doing with your money. So just let it go down. Just let it crash, and then they'll panic. They'll dump all their shit, and then Litecoin will come back from the dead again, and it's like a Ripple type thing. That's what's got to happen here. Thank you. I appreciate it, Anonymous. All right, Winston, man. Let's go to Winston. Okay, so AG, I think, is a silver one, right? It's a silver miner. So it depends on the sector. Now, I can never tell you how to do your trades because Elliott Wave Sage can't give trade recommendations or advice. Only you can make the decision. I'll just tell you what I think is going to happen, but you'll have to decide. So AG is a silver miner, okay? So the problem is silver is going to go to probably higher to 35, right? And then have a big pullback, more than likely. That's the most probable path. So why would the miners moon if that's going to happen? Now, they could go higher from here, of course, but would they moon? Probably not. So we're stuck in this wave too. We're stuck in a correction, okay? So the thing is we all dream of wave 3. But the market will give us wave 3 when it's ready. As long as we're above this low here at 420, wave 3 is possible, and the market structure is good. You got massive capitulation here. I mean, it's very easy to put the 2 there. I mean, because if we're going to have to take a double correction down, we'd have to take this out. That would be some pretty significant selling. It would have to take a situation where basically, and this looks like a triple correction here, but basically you would have to have something like this play out where it goes like A, it goes to B, and then just has a straight down crash and just pierces the low. It would have to do that or something crazy like that. So I think it's good to put the 2 in, and I think it's just going to grind higher. But when silver's at 35, expect a big pullback again. Another big pullback. But until that happens, I think the dips are buyable. Here you're already at your 5th wave here. And look at that RSI pullback here. So this is interesting. Could the miners be more bullish than the metal? So let's take a look here. I think this would be the better way to label it, like that. Yeah. So normally you lose the whole 5th. So I think, given the market pullback and the pullback in silver on the short term, I bet you'll get a pullback down to lose this 5th wave, and then it should be supported for more upside. I can't tell you how high it's going to go. At some point, silver hits 35, and then this will have another dramatic pullback, more than likely. But I bet this low will hold. That's what I'm thinking will happen, and how you trade your call, you're going to have to figure that out. Timing is impossible to predict how this will play out, but I think, you know, more upside is expected as long as silver is below 35. But once silver makes that fifth wave, then a bigger pullback is possible. But I believe dips are be bought, and I believe this wave two is a buyable dip if it happens. Now, of course, here would be really bullish, right? Now, this would be surprising if that's the two. That means it's about to launch in 3. So I don't think that. I think that's too bullish, and especially if this is an extended fifth, that we have to lose it. Okay, HL. Let's look at HL real quick. Hecla Mining. What kind of minerals are these guys in? What is it? Precious and base metals. We need to know the sector. Let me look up what these guys mine exactly. What kind of metal are these guys mining? Hecla Mining. Let me see here. Silver. It's another silver miner. Okay. So it's another silver miner. Let's take a look. This one could be a little different than the other one. Like most of these miners, they're in major cycle lows, trying to come off a major bottom. You know, I'm not even going to chart this. I'm just going to say, like, that's, you know, if that's your low right there, you know, you have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a 1, 2 here. You know, something like this. That. And then, of course, this. And then it did some kind of, let's see here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, a flat. So it did a flat correction here, textbook flat. It did bottom. So it's bullish. Did it break the low here? It broke the low right there. So, but let's look at, we don't have extended chart. So this is a problem. We broke the low there. So it's still in a correction. But it doesn't mean all is lost. It just means it's gonna be tricky, more than likely, and we can't put that as a major low. So it's in some kind of correction now here, and I'd be looking for something like this. And this looks like, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put the low there. Then we have to label the X wave. There's so many ways to label this right now. Like I could do 1, 2, 3 for A, B, C. We could do a D and an E. Put that there and have it drop down like that. I could have it up as an A and then a B and a C. Let's go with that one, that corrective structure. And 1, 2, 1. And then this could have a pullback to come in like that. So we just don't know. That's one possibility. The other is it's still in 2. But I'd be looking for like a move like this. And again, when silver peaks the metal, this peaks, and then this downside should break these lows, because you broke the low here. Unfortunately, the structure broke. And more than likely, whatever move happens here is going to fail in this one. So this one looks a little weaker than that other miner that I showed. But ultimately, they still get to the same place, just a different path. One is a little more bullish than the other, to me. All right, Bama, thanks again for the big super chat, man. Yes, I agree. I think you probably just heard what I said. They are out of phase. When silver makes its big pullback coming, when it hits 35 and makes that big pullback, I believe they will sync back up and then they will all moon together. I think they're out of sync and they'll stay out of sync. So I don't think you're going to get a lot of participation still from the miners in this final fifth wave of silver. But yes, the miners should go higher with it, but I don't think you're going to get the typical performance. But I bet when you get that really big pullback in silver, that will allow the market to resync itself up. So when silver hits this 35 area and we get this, when we correct this whole thing, because this will be another 1-2, then I think the miners and the metal, they'll all be in sync. And then when we get this big wave 3, this is the wave we all dream of. All the metal bugs and boom boys that have all these dreams and fantasies and your silver collection and your say, this is the shit you've been waiting for. When this finally happens, I believe the miners will also do this, and they will outperform finally the metal itself. That's the idea. That's the idea. But there's pain. There'll be pain. Now, we always know with Elliott wave, the problem with Elliott waves is you can't top tick a market because it can always extend, right? So I always throw this caveat in there. There's no guarantee this is a fifth wave. It could always surprise everyone and extend and just go to the moon. Unlikely, 10% chance, but it's not impossible. So don't be thinking I'm so smart, I'm going to short this, because we all know what has happened in the stock market and technology over the last 15 years as bears have tried to top tick the fifth wave and have failed every time. Because Elliott waves can't predict the extension. It can't. There's no, we use RSI to try to help us do that. Now I think we will get it, the pullback, but hey, maybe we get that. But I think it's very low likelihood. I just want to say that because I want to make sure people understand that the market can extend in 5. We see that if you follow me, we see that in multiple instruments all over the place, all the time, extensions. That's what happened in the SPY all in the first half of the year. The bears have been trying to top tick the market. It just kept extending. And then we saw the freight train come in on July 18th, I think 18th or 19th. We got out of the way of the freight train. Then the train crashed, and then we're like, okay, is it safe? And I think now we're starting to see signs, yes, it's safe to buy the dip, but yes, there's a pullback, big pullback coming. But this pullback could be buyable now, but I wouldn't want to chase this. But the pullback, I didn't update my future chart, but the pullback could be viable. I mean, this pullback here could be very viable after it plays out. Okay, good luck. All right, Leselle, let's go to your super chat here, ARQ, and let's take a look at that here, ARQ. And guys, if you haven't watched my GME AMC update, you need to do that. Keep an eye on those stocks. Keep an eye on those. Those are on watch now alert. Again, not sure why they would move if the market's going to correct, but we don't care. Maybe there's a tweak coming we don't know about. Who knows? Okay, so this, again, it held this low, which is pretty good. But we got to go to the monthly chart. We have to just say it's moving in 3 waves, okay? This is just moving in 3 waves. All right, it's just moving in 3. So, all right. I think it's pretty obvious, right? I mean, no, this one's a little different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're still in the X wave here. So, So I think you'll get more upside. You got more upside coming. I think it's going to do something like this. And then who knows? I would say, looks like to me, you got something like this coming. That's pretty big. Pull back with a little bit. So I would just play this out a little bit. So this but did you see how you broke that low right there? So I bet it has still more downside coming in the short term. And then it should come out. So it could be a buy setup here at 417, 347 in this area to play that move. And then at some point it ends and it goes all the way back down, breaks these lows, and then we do it all over again. All right, BZUN. All right, so that is in our buy area. Almost over. We're waiting for this fifth wave, it looks like, to end. And so if it's an end in diagonal, it just needs one more low to break this 3. If it's a 1-2, 1-2, it's going to be a big drop. So I still don't, I think as long as you're in this downtrend here, this downtrend in line, as long as you're behind that line, it's going to go down. But you're kind of in that fifth wave, and you want to see that bullish divergence continue. Here, as long as you see that bullish divergence staying intact here, you could try your luck at the lottery at the casino. Try your luck at the casino. And then if you get it, you're going to have a big move out of this. So, but it does look like to me, let's look at this 4 again. So you see how big this 2 pumped? It could even surprise us and break the channel, and then the 4 goes up another swing and 5 comes later. So watch that too. So I think it's really tricky right now. It's in an area that hasn't, it's a stalemate between the bears and the bulls. It could easily move a little bit higher, and then I think technically you'll get another move higher out of this to $4, $4.20. So I think it's really at it's at a point of indecision between each side of the market, and no one is blinking yet. So we have to wait and see. So you break this low, then you have 5, then it looks like the bears are back in control. You break this trend line, then the bulls have taken control and it's going to 4. Here it's a guess, 50-50. No real indication. All right, Zip. I assume you mean ZipRecruiter. I didn't even know they had a stock symbol. Damn, they're not doing that good. ZipRecruiter has a stock symbol. All right, let's take a look. So let's look for a simple buy setup here. Never really hit our target at 483. That would be the target, right? That's the target. This is the target. So I would actually definitely won't FOMO in on this. Looks like it's in 3 and 3 and 3 here, and then it bounced in it. So yeah, I don't particularly like this. So I'll just kind of try to trade what I see here, W and X, and then you're still in the same corrective swing. So I would just have to call it like this then. And you'll get like a little mini bounce here and one more low. So I guess if you really want to try to buy it, you could try to buy it at 483 and maybe you'll get lucky. I mean, but you know, but this is not a lot of data to go with. This would be a classical. A lot of times these IPOs come out, you'll get a 3-wave move down right out of the gate, and then it just moons. So that's what you're trying to play for, is something like this. But there's no guarantee that's going to happen. So good luck. All right, Victoria. Yeah, Link is really tough to predict because Link did hit the area for a major low, and we did bottom out. But the problem is we need to get that intensity of the bottom to really confirm it. or 5 off the low. So we have 4 now. So, you know, if we're below 1272, there is risk for another swing down into this area that I have highlighted for the ideal buy. Now, they did technically find a bounce here, but like I said, I'll go through the wave structure. As you can see, you have a W, X, Y. You have a 1, you have a big bounce, and another wave down. 3. 1, 2, 3. And here you have, again, 1, 2, 3. Now in this wave you have 1, 2, 3. So each wave has a 3-wave part. In this wave you have a 1, 2, 3, and here you have a 1, 2, 3. But in this wave you don't have that. You have just 1. Now you could force this as the 1, 2, but this is so small, so tiny. So I was looking for a 1, 2, 3, but when we busted out here, then it has to have you thinking, is the correction over? Now we're still below the downtrend, so it's still in the correction from this low. Let's look at some cycles and see where we may be. So the 4-hour cycle has not confirmed. It looks like it has not confirmed the low. See, so we're still in the correction. So this is still corrective. So there is still danger. There is still danger the move will fail and go lower again. There is still danger. We also have very subtle bullish divergence between these two peaks on the daily, which need to get erased. So, you know, I think Link has one more leg lower to go. To negate that view, we need more upside or more intensity, one or the other. Like, but here it's very. It could be at a turning point lower where it'd be the worst time to buy it. Not to mention it's below the head and shoulders pattern, right? Almost like a back test here. Yeah, very dangerous. Would I short it? I guess you could try to short it below 12.70. But again, if you get that push, this could be a 3 of 3, and you got to get out of that position fast if this is wrong. So this is how I look at Litecoin. It's in a tough spot to really gauge it. But in the future, it should come out of this, and we should get wave 3 eventually when this correction finally ends. All right, looks like we have had that one before. Look at that. Hit the buy area exactly to the penny, and we bottomed out. I don't know who asked me for this, and but there you go. So let's look at the RSIs real quick to make sure it looks like a good low. It's okay to have bullish divergence on a flat there. Let's look at the weekly cycle. Yeah, even the weekly is okay. So and as you can see, it looks like it's trying to break the daily cycle. Here it's trying to break out of the daily cycle correction here. See, it got rejected, but I bet it's gonna come back through. I bet it's gonna succeed and break into daily cycle. So this looks like a 1, 2. Just to be conservative, I'll put 3 there and 4 here, but this could easily be another 1, 2. So we could look for something like this and then a pullback and then more upside. That's like the conservative count, you know? So good luck with that. ILV USDT. Let's take a look at that. Looks like we've looked at that before. Hold on here. Sorry about that. Maybe a long time ago. So we called the C leg here, end it. And fortunately, it looks like it broke here. So that's unfortunate. So, but it does look like we had some kind of 5-wave move, but it's probably corrective here off that low, off this low here. Let's see though. Let's take another look at it. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do is it's going to be in a bigger connector wave, but I'm going to get, you know, it's gonna do something like that, I think. B probably has more downside. So it's gonna be real messy. Maybe it's better to put the A there and do something like that. So very messy chart. That means we would need 5 down here. 1, 2. And we erase divergence, so it's another 1, 2. So it's got more downside. It could see 1094 before the reversal. I think that's probably the best way to play this, is if it could hit 1094, then you could try to play that C leg reversal. So this is going to destroy bears, destroy bulls type thing. And it's a day trader's nightmare type chart. But if you know what's going on in it, you could come out ahead on it. Hold on, why did the level change? Yeah, there we go. Wait a minute, let me make sure I line this up right for you here. Oh yeah, that's why. That's the peak. Let's see here. Right there. A, B, C. There. All right, my bad. 1791. So I must have not aligned it up right before. So this kind of area. So I'd be looking for this area, 1791 or so, and then a big rip higher. Now that's a big drop from where it's trading right now. So that's why I'd be careful in it. But that's unfortunately what this chart is showing me, because we broke the low here with that with this little peak. That's the only setup I see. Everything else is just random. You're just kind of might as well go to the casino or buy some lottery tickets and maybe you'll win. And this is kind of like that kind of structure. And now, if you do get a dump down to here, then you got a trade idea, a good trade setup. Okay. I see, man. I see. Amazon. So this is what I like. This is what I want to see in Amazon. Okay. This is what I want to see in Amazon. Just like I got it here. Amazon. Looking for this second little dip here. That's going to really piss off a lot of people. But that's buyable. So this is a buyable dip. If we can get this in the next 3 or 4 weeks, if we get this market sell-off, I want to buy this dip in Amazon. And that would be at 132. Probably be more than a dip. For most people, that'd be like a catastrophe, I guess. But that's the area, assuming that doesn't take this high out. Now, the other possibility is you're still in X and it makes another swing higher. Some people think that's going to happen. Some people think that's going to happen. Now, you don't have divergence at the top, so that you don't really have 5 waves here. You have 3, but let's just say I force 5. I just force the 5. Then some people think it will do that and then have a failure. So I think the best way to try to time Amazon is to time the NASDAQ when it's trading, when we understand the structure better, but it's way too early in the correction or way too early to figure that out yet. Now, if we can make another high here, that changes everything, because then you're in a connector. So then that would change things. Then this would become like a W, like an X and a Y. So if we can make another high here, let's say day traders push this up tomorrow, we do this, and then we'll do that. Then you could see something like this, and then get this, and then get this later, and then you get this look. So, but this really not a trade. It's not really tradable here. I'm just showing you what I think is going to happen. But if we do make another high, look for another high, a rug pull, and then a rip, and then a crash. That's how I would look. But it's not giving you a good setup right here, right now. And then YCL that's like kind of a yen thing, right? Yen long. So the yen trade long strength in the yen. So I want to at least see one more swing higher in that whole series. So the problem is we don't know where we're next. Now this looks to me like not what you would typically see. It almost looks like it wants another swing down. So the best opportunity to go long the YCL is if the yen wants to weaken and take this path to 2247, this would be a good buy opportunity here. So if the market does this, that would be good to go long the yen. This doesn't look like a very healthy bottom to me, because you could put this as A here and B and C. Like, it just, I think that's why, or it could be, maybe it's going to morph into a triangle. So this is like an area, like I don't even like label the yen here because it's just too many possibilities to label the yen here. So here's like the Japanese yen. Like I said, here's your trade if it could come up to, this area. But if this could be so many things here, I could put that X here only because of this RSI peak there. But if I neglect that, I mean, I don't like, we need more data to label this properly. So when you look at the YCL, it's the same thing. It's like, do I want to put that there? Do I want to, like, you did you got that RSI, but who's to say it's going to go lower? So I just don't like it, and I may not have got my pivot right because I didn't see this little data point. So let me go back here. There we go, 2258. 2258. So if it for some reason wants to take a dump down to 2258, goodbye. Here it's kind of like, yeah, maybe it's finished, maybe it isn't. Now once we break 2564, then the next swing higher started. It's even if you get a big pullback, it should be good to go for much more upside. And we'll have to wait and see how high it can go, how strong the yen will get. All right, Johnny, HOLO. Let's look at that real quick. HOLO. Let's see. Is trying to turn off of a major cycle low, I believe. But again, a lot of people just aren't patient. They just want it to go straight up forever. And of course, the market never does that. So HOLO is in a buy area. Okay, so, and that's why it's finding buyers here. Now, the problem is the way this looks. Well, let's go back to the 4 hour. We have to go to the 15-minute really look at this. So there you go. Okay, so you got to hold this little low here at 48.9. If you hold that low at 48.9, it's ready to roll. It's ready to launch. Okay? And don't say I didn't give you this setup, guys. I mean, there it is right in front of your face. I've had this on here for like the last week or so. I said, watch this setup. But if we break this low, then of course I think the setup's lost. The setup's lost, and then you're only looking at a 3-swing move, and then I would advise not trading it anymore, because then it's corrective, and in fact it could go all the way back down and even break this low. It wouldn't be a good setup. The setup would be lost. The bullish setup will be lost. But so this is it. So the bulls got to make a stand here. The bulls got to make a stand. Now that little 15-minute candle was good. See, they're buying it up. They're buying it up. Maybe, are we going to get a meme stock pump? Are we going to get AMC, GME, HOLO, all the shit stocks all going to pump? I wonder. But this was a buy. This was a buy. Right here, right now. This was a buy. Now, you break the low, very little risk here. What, a couple pennies? So put the stop, put it at 47 cents, But yeah, you break the low, then the structure's lost. Then it's gonna grind lower, and it could even risk breaking the lows, and I wouldn't recommend trading it. MLGO. MicroAlgo, yeah, I think we've done this one before. So typically you want to see this low break in A or tag it It looks like to me you're in a 4-wave right now. Let's see. Let's go to the 45-minute. Yeah, it's probably in some kind of 4-wave right now. So I would 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's take another look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. So I'd be looking for something like that. This one looks like it's got a little more downside. This seems too early. If it bounces here, then this connector something else and more than likely will fail. Like, I don't think it's just going to run from here. I mean, there's always a chance it could do that, but I just if it does that, since it's done in 3 here, then it's still in B. And let's look at the 4-hour cycle. That's not going to help us. 45-minute. Yeah, I mean, I guess when the 45-minute breaks this trend line here, then you know it's going to take the move higher has started. The next move higher has begun. But until then, it's in this 4 that I think should push down in 5. Okay, Mark V. Let's go back to Mark V. YAL. Let's take a look. All right, let's see here. All right, it's pretty much been in again another bear market since it's ever existed. It's never been bullish. So again, looks like 3 and 3 up here. So you have a corrective move, and then you have an impulse down. That's what it looks like to me with another corrective move, and you broke the low. So this actually looks very bearish. This looks pretty bearish right now to me. So and then it came up in 3. You know, something like that. And then of course it took a nosedive. So yeah, this looks like it's on its way down to break these lows. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. And you have 3 and then 5 down. So I mean, this could be so many things, but I think right now it looks like it's going to take another swing down. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. If anything, you'll end up doing a bigger ABC. And maybe you do something like this. You know, maybe look for something like that. So that's what I'd be looking for, something like this to play out. All right, NHC. New Hope. See, New Hope. Again, it only moved in 3 waves. That could be a 4-wave in the making. So it could be a couple things here. So I'll label it like bullish because we're seeing a good extension here with this 3rd wave. So it's probably in some kind of wave 4 right now. And that could be the low right there. So it looks like it's in some kind of wave 4 off the low, and now it's in maybe 4. So this is looks like it's in 4 waves too. I mean 3 waves. Could do that. Big pullback. It's possible that, you know, we're just off, the swings are off and it's done here like that. And then you get another pullback with a buyable dip here at, you know, at like 443. So possibly get a setup there to play this way, play wave 5 out. All right, good luck with that. Next, PME. Pro Medicus. Looks like it's gone parabolic. Damn. Let's take a look at the monthly. So what's interesting is you see how you're here. The RSI is not taking it out. So believe it or not, there's even more upside yet to come in this. Probably short traders are trying to top ticket and they're just not, it's not working out for them. So this will definitely have more upside. Dips are buyable. How to label it? Something like that. And then this looks like either, see, I don't think, so this 5 could be done, but I don't know if I would put that 3 there. I would probably just put it as another 1, 2, given the RSI. So it'd probably be a bigger pullback because of that. Whenever this 5 ends, I think the 5's going to end, and then there'll probably be another really big pullback. Not as big as this one, but pretty big. And then that will probably be another 1 and 2 for even more upside later. All right. All right, good luck with that one. GMG. Looks like we've done that one before. Looks like we pretty much have gotten this one. There's your connector, and you broke the low, so we can project a buy area now. So I would expect more downside coming to 29.94, 28.69 for a buyable dip area here. In this 4th wave, again, looking for a 5th wave before a major peak. But it should continue higher. All right. Popcorn tuna, Zcoin. Yeah, let's take a look at how that's trading. All right, so Zcoin hit our buy area. Looks like that's probably a 3 and a 4 here. And we're looking for a 5th wave. So that's you see how we broke that low here? Let's go to the 4-hour, just check things out here. Yeah, more than likely this is another one too. But I don't know when it's going to end. So as long as you're above this low here, above 25.25, I would expect more upside as potentially a major cycle has ended. Yeah. All right, good luck with that. We could be entering the age of privacy coins again. Privacy coin era comes back. Maybe it tells us about what the next 12 to 18 months are going to look like. Maybe privacy coins, you know, with all the shit going on in the world, maybe that's going to be needed. Maybe there's some crazy stuff coming. All right. Pfizer, now all the smart, people on TV are like buy Pfizer, but we were saying buy Pfizer a long time ago, right? I mean, we had buy Pfizer a long time ago. But how's it doing? I haven't looked at it in a while. All right, so we should be pulling up in this fifth wave. So I'm still looking for this. So yeah, yeah, more than likely this is some kind of flat here. Maybe I could put the 3 there even, or even there. Like, as long as we're above 2783, we should be good. Now, if we break that 2783, then I would be much more concerned, because then it's a corrective wave count. So I would just say we need to get this higher high, but it looks like that's what's taking place right now. So that's what I'll be looking for. So it does look like we're making that turn higher now. MNDY. Okay, let's take a look at that. Monday. All right, so let's see here, Monday. So Monday looks like you had 5 down from here. It looked like it could have been a flat, but then again, you broke the low, which is always not a good sign. Right, and so now we need to finish that C off. That C needs to be an impulse off the low. I see just a lot of overlapping waves. Well, that one didn't, so we could probably put the 3 and 4 here. It looks like we're trying to extend in 5 a little bit. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Yeah, so very dangerous. I mean, the count can't be that perfect, but I think it could have another pullback with one more high come in, like that, and then should be a dramatic sell-off after that. But it doesn't look like it's quite finished. Probably want a little more bearish divergence there on this peak here, and then that should do it. Because you broke this low, it's not really likely to go much higher. All right, good luck with that. All right, Ben trade in Coco. Yep. I think we've done that one before. So we had to buy here, and then looks like, let's take a look at what we're doing here. So we got a 3-wave move here off this low. But let's go to a shorter cycle just to make sure we're not missing anything. Yeah, so it's an extended 5th. So it's probably something like this. And then that's why I corrected the whole thing right there. Done. So yeah, I would say as long as you're above 2352, I would expect more upside coming. Like that. All right, good luck on that. And then INDO, yeah, that one, INDO. So INDO had a good move today for people. So far, so good. So the conservative view on INDO, again, hit our buy area. This could be 2 things right now. It could be a 1-2, 1-2, and ready to launch like tomorrow, 3 of 3. The more conservative view, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lead in diagonal. We peaked in 1 today, or about to, and then we pull back all the way back down to 312 in this area here between the 4 and the 2, and then we launch. The good sign is we made 5 waves today with the divergence. So whatever it is, it's just something I think I like to hold still. But obviously the most important low is this one at 279. But this could be a more typical move coming, just like I have here, but we could be surprised tomorrow with a 1-2-1-2, and then tomorrow it just gaps up at like 420 and it runs up to $5 or something crazy. So we just have to wait and see what happens. We don't know, but I'm just showing you like more of a conservative view on what that looks like right now. But making the fifth wave today was huge. I think that kind of sets the tone of where we're heading, as long as you're patient. And I believe this is that this is staying supported. You know, again, hit our buy area. Took a while, came out, hit the buy area again. Again, kind of took a while, and now it's starting to come out again. All right, Shane Moses. I do have a special video for AMC and GME, but since you gave me a super chat, I'll cover AMC just real quick. But you can watch the video separate. AMC, very interesting time for it. It's again major low here. We came up in 3 for W, and now we were in this X wave. And I was really looking at this pattern. And I really think the way I want to label it is like an A, B, C, D, E that ended here on X. Okay, see how that divergence erased there? Ended here, and then we moved off that low in 1 and in a running flat. A, B, C, running flat that ended here. And then we come up off that low. We broke this high, very significant for my system doing that. And then we buy a pullback. So as long as I think we're above this level at 490, the bullish case is intact. And even if we break 490, ultimately the most important low is this one here at 437. But either way, if this count is right, this is the time to start to be more aggressive with it. Because if we can come out of this mess and come out on the upside, which we just broke the high here, then that could create a massive short squeeze, which is what is needed to get us going on this in this massive inverse head and shoulders that hopefully we could see play out and break out. That's the idea. But again, it's hard to say, you know, the short term can to go deeper, it sure can. And it could even surprise us and still be in this too. But ultimately, whatever happens in this area, I think is still positive. It's only when we break this low does this no longer support the bull case, in my opinion. Nvidia's you know, in an area that I wouldn't like to trade it. I'd rather just be on the sidelines and watch it. But right now, it's like I said, if you look at Nvidia, it needs a fifth wave. That it just depends. Like this 4 could be here, and we could get this fifth wave on earnings up to 162, or we get the double correction down to $80, which would be buyable. We only have, let's see, off this low, let's take a look here. It looks like we, you see how we made that 3 waves here, but we have 3 down. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, but this is like a connector. I wonder if it's going to do something tricky like this. Where we're going to get a pattern that's something like a WXY, and then this is in an ABC right now, like something like this, like you know, something like this. You know, where we make a flat here. Because we broke this high, I'll be watching this flat. That would be 121, 118. So for those of you brave enough and you know, want to gamble earnings, you could try to long it here for this Y, but this Y may not make it as high as you think. So I don't know. I think because you broke this high now, you're in a connector of this first move off the low. So what I don't think is this is in anymore. What I think is you're in a connector wave. And it could turn into a lot of things, which is guessing. So that's why it's not really a tradable using my system. I'm just showing you one idea, But this X could easily go even lower and do something like this and come up in Y later and do something like that. It could even do that even. Something like that. Okay, just try to show you some different ideas. So I just don't know, but it does look like that, you know, it's gonna be a lot of trickery happening, choppiness. All right, stock smash. Yeah, they're still trying to, you know, pump energy on TV. I've never seen energy pump so much on CNBC and these channels. They used to never want energy. It just makes me skeptical, you know, that, you know, but if we're going to get a stagflation trade, these stocks will run. So we have to keep an open mind, okay? So the first warning sign that XOM is going to break bullish will be breaking this 120.57. So we're getting close. We're getting close. If we break 157, then the bear cases negate it. We're going to have to flip bullish on the commodities, whether I like it or not. And again, that could be the stagflation trade starting to take shape in the early innings, just like it did in late 21, early 22. So we're looking for this here, but we're running out of time. If you can't get that, then this is negated. The bear case is negated on this energy producer. And what we would have to do is put the 2 there. And then this would be like a 1, 2, 1, 2. And we would want to actually start to get long, as we would have a wave 3 grand super cycle move coming. And the last time energy made that kind of move, the NASDAQ was in a bear market, you know, we were in a big sell-off. So that's a warning sign for the market indices that major selling could be about to happen if energy producers start to break out. So very important moment for the energy producers right now. Very important. So yeah, I don't know. I think this looks like 5 down, but and then this looks like 3 up as long as you're below that peak right there. So like you're right on the edge. The bears have almost lost control of the energy market there. So yeah, maybe it is time to get long energy. And the chart's the chart. That would be a buy signal if we can break these pivots. But I wouldn't chase it away for a pullback, of course. But that would be very interesting. That would also support a tech getting obliterated, right? If energy is going to run hot in a wave 3 grand super cycle. All right, Nike. Let's take a look at Nike. Last time I looked at Nike, it bounced where we wanted it to. It like exactly bounced, pretty much right there. And so now we're in a B wave connector that should fail. So this connector could be, I could put the A there, and then the connector's done. I could put the A here, and then the connector has another move. So I don't like trading it. I don't like buying it. I like one more leg lower, and then possibly it's a buy. But this is too many possibilities. Like I said, I could put it here and say it's finished. I could say it needs another move down and up. So it's just in an area that I don't like to trade it. JPM is, how's that one doing? Let's see here. So JP Morgan, like most of the stocks, we never got our double correction. So we just have to assume that 4 is in. And now we're in the final wave higher. So we're in 5. So let's take a look at where we are in wave 5 here. So we did break the high. We have some bearish divergence. So it's very dangerous to chase it here. It's very dangerous. It could be done. It could be done the whole thing right here. Now, of course, it could always extend. We don't know if it will or won't. It could always do this. So we just don't know. But the typical area where it would reverse would be at 224.09. So it's not quite at that area yet. So it's tough to say, but once it peaks, it's a major cycle peak. It's a major cycle peak from big drop. Okay. Price superstar LPSN. Let's take a look at LPSN. live person. All right, looks like we're almost in our buy area. We're looking for a buy at 114, and it's heading that way. No change. There's your connector. One more swing down should do it. So good luck on that. Okay, so let me kind of scan through everyone's comments. Everyone's comments here. Let's see here. All right. And just start from the top. I can't get to all these charts. I'm about to run out of time here. I see a lot of Carvana, so I'll just go into Carvana. I think we are calling a major cycle top in Carvana in the sell area at any moment. At any moment, a catastrophe, a car crash. It's going to crash and burn. I don't know what's going to cause it, what kind of news, but that's what's coming. That's what's coming. You have what? 1, 3. You have quadruple bearish divergence. So it don't look good. If you're long Carvana, don't be a greedy bastard. Take some profit. That's not the way you want to think at the market, that all the stocks have to always make all the highs sometimes. Because and I'll just try to explain this the best I can. Okay, so the Dow Jones makes a new high here. Well, why isn't the Qs doing it? Well, maybe the Qs are trading down here. And yeah, as the Dow Jones makes a new high, the Qs make it up to 470 below its high. It doesn't have to trade. That's why sometimes you have divergence within the market structure. You know, you ever see, oh, the Dow transports didn't confirm the high because it's trading below, or the Dow Jones didn't make the high. So this happens all the time. The markets will never peak all in sync. They never do. It never happens. There's always an outlier, and I think tech's the outlier. It's the weakest of the weak, and it makes sense. If it's a stagflation trade, if that's the trade for the next 2 to 3 years, is 1970s, and we could go back in our history when the Nifty 50 busted and all that shit broke down, that was not what you wanted to be in. You did not want to be in any of that growth. So that's what this is kind of telling me, guys. That's what I'm seeing play out. I'm seeing Powell may have done an Arthur Burns part 2. He may have to start raising rates again in 6 months or so, and inflation starts raging again because the expectations were reset, and then we'll have a 1970 trade. I mean, it's a 1970 trade. Gold went up. Gold and silver and energy, and you know, some of the commodities, and you know, and the sectors that trade with that. That's what was going up, and then everything else was in a bear market. So that may be what we may be seeing for our future. That's what I think we're going to see in our future. And then interest rates will higher, of course. That's what I think is coming into the vision that I'm seeing. But it's too early to make, you know, to absolutely say that. But I think it's coming into play. Yeah, Indo had that pop. It was good. And I hope it has a bigger pop. I want to see double digits. I don't give my trades, guys, sorry, because people don't know what to do. They just blindly follow. They need to own their own decisions. I just give the ideas. Didn't Apple CFO resign today? So that was interesting. So the CFO resigned today right before their big product launch next week or a couple weeks. So this is my Apple chart. Again, we have not made that fifth wave, so this is still valid. So until we make the fifth wave, I'm going to stick with this. But am I trading it? No. Am I going long? No. Am I selling it? No. I'm just watching. it. See what happens. Just on the sidelines. Okay. All right. Got last more super chat for Tesla. Tesla is breaking down, just like I expected. Right on the trend line, like to the penny, and looks like we have 3 down. Once we break this low, we'll confirm 5 down. The trend will be lower. It's just going to keep grinding lower. That's my guess. Then at some point I'll have a big bounce somewhere down at 150 or so. Now, how this plays out is anyone's guess. Now, of course, if it could retake 229, very big moment for the stock. It changes everything, but it just makes the connector go higher. But for right now, it's just lower. It's just like, and like I said back here, just short it. Short it at 224 and close it at 229 and just and see what happens. And so far, I mean, that was really a no-brainer situation here, guys. But we'll see. Tomorrow's an important day for Tesla and tech for the most part. Tomorrow's an important day for the bears. Bears have to really follow through tomorrow. All right, got another super chat, Halstone. Okay, I'll take a look at that here. MMM, 3M, some dividend paid stock. Should be doing okay now that the bonds rates are going down. It looks like we had this buy here at 64, bottom at 67. It's coming out of that now. It's in this fifth wave here, and should be pulling back here just like this. So we're almost done this whole cycle, and then of course it's very buyable. It's buyable. Maybe I'll fill this gap here and then out. So it looks like it's just got a few more swings left in it, and then that should do it. All right, then SOLV. Never heard of them. They were a spinoff or something. So we don't have enough data to really analyze this properly, so we'll just have to go from the low and just try to chart it bullish here. So you have a 1, 2, 3 off the low. You have 3 again. And then you broke the high here, but with bearish divergence. And you did not take this high out. This looks like 5 down. So be careful with a flat correction here, or something really strange. I mean, this is a hard, but there's just not enough data. But it could easily do something like this. But we won't know that until tomorrow. All right, we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. Now, if it could take this B high out, at 62.30 or so, then it changes this chart to this, and then this, and then it changes it to something like that. So, but there's not a lot of data to know where the long-term trend's going to end up being. MO. Oh yeah, Alter. Yeah, we like this one. Again, another one we called the bottom on perfectly. Yeah, this one I think you just hold on tight. There's no reason to, this is one of those ones, there's just really no reason to sell it for a while. I mean, or do anything stupid like trading in and out of it and trying to get cute. See, it's accelerating higher. Maybe I'll put the 3 here. Yeah, as you can see, much more upside, but pullbacks are buyable in 3 waves. So I would just say conservatively, this is the labeling, probably in some 5th wave. So we could either be in 3 here, or it could be another 1, 2, and pull back to 46, and then just can keep going higher. More than likely, this was a major cycle low back here. Back here. And here. Yeah. Looks good. This one looks good. RSP equal weight. This probably shows the same thing as the grand super cycle in the market, just like we're on a 5th wave of, the end. Let's take a look here. Again, we don't have all the historical data, but we could just chart it real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. We have the bearish divergence. And then, again, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to label this. I mean, You know, it's where do you put your 3 and 4? I mean, that's the $1,000,000 question. See, if you look here, it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4. So I actually put the 4 there, like the rest of the market, right, in there, and then we're in 5. So we're in wave 5. Right? So this was something like this. Yep, that is getting dicey. One more high maybe? One more high? And that should do it. I mean, it's easy to, I mean, this could be long. I would never trade on this, but I mean, it does, again, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to know like this needs a correction. Like, look, it's essentially been straight up. It needs to correct. It needs to correct. Watch the longer term cycles, like the monthly RSI, right? That trend line, that would confirm the top is in. Let's look at the weekly cycle as well. Plenty of space to correct. Daily cycle too. So, you know, what we have to be careful is an extended fifth. I think in this market, I think it's silly to try to top, like you can't, this 5 could be a blow, like we could see a blow off 5 and maintain the bearish divergence because the divergence is so extreme. This bearish divergence is so extreme, we could still see a blow off wave 5 top that looks just like I have it here. So be careful if you're like, oh, this is over, because it could easily do this. Okay, easily do that. All right, then it ends with, and it just needs to maintain the bearish divergence. So just be careful, you know, getting to wait for the I guess you gotta wait for the confirmation on the equal weight, because you just don't have that yet, obviously. But what we do know is it's kind of at the end, right? Even, I mean, yeah, maybe it extends, but it's at kind of late. It's at the late stages here. I mean, it could, maybe it won't extend, and we're days away from a big drop in the equal weight with technology leading the way. We just don't know. But it's close. I think it's closer than people realize. But anyway, good luck with that. Yeah, the rotation trade. Yeah, maybe again, maybe this wave 5 extends is the final rotation in, and then there's no more to rotate. Everything's pumped. There's no more things to pump. There's no more money. Like money wants to rotate in what's lagging, and now everything is pumped. Everything is top. Like there's nothing left in the market anywhere. There's nowhere to go but cash. The dollar's too oversold, so we'll just go into cash, and the market will be ready to go down. I don't know. All right, guys, that's the end for my live stream tonight. I appreciate it. Good luck trading tomorrow. Let's just take a quick look at the futures, and yeah, mixed picture. Like I said, you know, again, shorter cycle, could see like one more swing higher in the Dow Jones here. The SPY wild card, if we'll break the high, we could have topped, we just don't know. And then the triple Qs is a very important moment, you know, here, if we can make another high or if we're going to break down. I think the tech is going to be the big watch out to see how this plays out. The VIX is important to watch too, because the VIX is also starting to control the market. As you can see, the VIX came off one, it did a flat correction, it hit the buy area, and it's come off of it, and it's come back in 3, and now it's coming back out. So if the VIX can have a breakout tomorrow, we should get a big sell-off in tech, you know, in tech at least, in those areas if this plays out. So watch the VIX. The VIX is showing a sign that, you know, perhaps there's, you know, that there needs to be a counter trend move here. And we just have to wait and see how this plays out. And again, I gave this VIX setup a while ago, and we did hit this. And I like how we bounced right out of it, and then we came back in 3 and we started to reverse out again. There's our downtrend line. We tried to break out and we failed, and now we're breaking out. So tomorrow could be we could see a bigger sell-off tomorrow if this VIX chart plays out, where the VIX is up at 17, 18 tomorrow. That's the idea. That's what the VIX is saying. And of course, this is the line of the wedge. We're below the wedge, but once we're above the wedge, all bets are off, and then you could have even like a flash crash type situation happen in the market. So that's why I think it is not good to chase the market, because we are due a big sell-off. We are due this big sell-off here. We are due a sell-off of some kind. Even in the Dow Jones, even if this is labeled wrong, we do have a sell-off coming. And even in the IWM, even labeled bullish, even if we get one more high, we have a sell-off coming.